chosen ones, empaths, you may have like caught the narcissist out about something, exposed them. It might have been slight, or you may have seen a hint of something that was untrustworthy. You know, it broke the fabric. Something happened where you had the split in your mind, where you saw something about them, right? Like, and maybe you confronted them. You relayed it to them. You told them about themselves, right? And they most likely they denied it. They tried to move the goalpost. You know, initially they would have just denied it, or tried to gaslight you to make you think that you're insane, that you're imagining things and it's all within you. But be prepared that if you kept pushing and you unmasked them, right? Be prepared for war, because the way that they escalate the situation, they escalate it so bad, right? Some of them never admit to the initial mistake, but they will move the goalpost to something else. They'll go up the stairs even higher and escalate it around in circles, go higher and higher and higher. And it will turn in, sorry. It will turn into something so toxic. It will turn into something so toxic the way they make it. Yeah. Just be prepared for a war. And you've got to look back at the relationship that you had with them. Okay? You've got to look back at the relationship that you had with them. If you're looking back in retrospect now about what's happened, you've got to remember you probably sussed them out about one initial thing. Okay? You may have gone through some crazy smear campaign, some crazy toxic situations, but you've got to remember it was probably sourced off one thing. You've got to understand that when you unmask them, you cause them a narcissistic injury. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. But look, you saw something in them. They got baited. You figured them out. You saw it about one thing. And yes, at the time, I'm not disputing that you weren't 100% like, you know it's this. Like, you was in split minds, but it caused you to have a split mind. On one hand, you saw the loving partner, and on the other hand, you saw a bag of trash. And maybe not at that extreme, but you kind of felt tendencies leaning towards where you feel like, hold on, this person's broken the fabric of what we're about. They've damaged it, you know. And you kind of had a realization or an epiphany, and realized that there's something toxic within them. And if you confronted the narcissist with it, they would have escalated it into some whole nother argument. They would have gaslighted you, reversed it on you. They would have done reactive abuse, you know, about how your reaction is so toxic, and they would have made it about your reaction. They will twist it. They will get police involved, you know. They'll do everything and anything to escape the fact that you unmasked them. Because when you unmask them, you showed them who they are, and you're confronting them with what they are in the core of themselves, an evil, twisted person. And when you confront them with that, they will run away. You know, you got to understand that maybe some of these discards that you went through, discards, etc., like, this was actually fueled by you unmasking them. You know, some of the ways that the relationship ended was actually fueled by you unmasking them initially. You unmasked them, you exposed them, have power to you because you saw it. You've got some people can be asleep through the whole course of their lives with a narcissistic individual. You know, they'll go to the grave and they never knew they was with a narcissist. So you have to count the blessings. I know that you went through pain. I know you're suffering. I know it hurts. I know it hurts because you think, did this person love me? And I will answer your question with that. They loved you to the best that they possibly could, but they can't fully love, they can't fully empathize, they can't fully pair bond. So because they can't do that, they pretend like where they see in the movies or where they see other people doing it, and they impersonate the act of love. Okay? But it's not anything to do with yourself. It's not something you should look at yourself and think that you're not lovable or worthy of love. Is they don't have the actual makeup within their bodies to be able to produce the love hormone. They don't actually have the real, not the love hormone, that was wrong of me saying that. They don't have the way to actually love within their fabric, within their DNA, within the way that they're built, you know, in their circuitry. They don't have it. Okay? So just remember, you might have to look back and do some analysis and looking back in retrospect on your situation, because maybe you're focusing on the ending of the relationship. You're thinking about how it ended. But maybe it wasn't actually fueled, that ending of the relationship, or if you were discarded, wasn't actually fueled by what happened, what you think it was about. It was actually to do with what you done when you unmasked them. This might have been a few weeks prior. This might have been a couple of days before. This might have been at another point in time. But my point is that you unmasked them and it caused the separation. You know, some of them go running scared. Some of them will disappear. Some of them will discard in the brutalist way. They'll escalate it. They'll blame you. They'll get police involved. They'll smear your name. They'll put fake allegations on you. They'll do some of the most toxic stuff just to move the goalpost, to keep themselves in their protected place, in their bubble. Because you burst their bubble. When you unmask them, you burst their bubble. You burst everything that was about them, right? And they need to maintain that. That's more important than you. It's more important than their own children. It's more important than anything. It's more important than money. It's more important. It's the most important thing in the world, how they appear to the public. And they're very, very, very insecure and have such low self-esteem that anyone that tries to disrupt this this mask they masquerade through life with, anyone that tries to disrupt that, they will tear you down and they will go full out war mode on you. And some of us have experienced the war mode with them, you know. We've experienced the full-on war of the narcissist, the way that they absolutely try to tear us down with every ounce of strength that they have in their bodies. They try every angle to tear us down. And then we're like bombarded with attacks, right? And then we're thinking, yo, where did this come from? What happened? We were just doing this 1 minute, and you forget. You forget because they moved the goalpost, and you forget that it was initially of something that you unmasked them about, you know? But they escalate it so much that you forget what the initial meaning and the initial reason why this all started was. That's the fact of the matter. So look back at your journey. Look back at the way that it played out, okay? And just have a look, because I guarantee you this war that you encountered was down to you unmasking the narcissist. And if you are planning to unmask them in the future, be prepared for a war. If you're planning to unmask them in the future, be prepared for a war, because they're going to escalate it to such high degrees. It's crazy how they escalate. And it does catch you off guard. You know, it does catch you off guard. But hopefully, if you're awakened now, like you're watching these videos and you know what to deal with, maybe it won't. But for me, for me going through it, sorry about that. For me going through it, when I was asleep, it took me off guard, man. I forgot that I unmasked them. I didn't really see my power. That's another thing. They devalue us so much that we don't see our power. We don't see how much power we actually have within us, because we've been devalued for years, right? And we don't see our value. We don't see our power. So we don't really understand like the significant moment when we unmask them. We don't really understand how powerful that actually is, unmasking the narcissist, you know. But if you're awakened now, like you're watching these videos, you're awakened, and you wanna unmask the narcissist, you wanna confront them. You know, I would advise just do no contact, cut them off. It's the most painful way you can do it. But if you do need to say something to them, be prepared for a war, be prepared for smear campaigns, be prepared for all of that. So if you want to lay out some words to them, be prepared for a war. Okay? But everyone has the right to express themselves. So I always encourage expressing yourself, because expressing yourself stops you harboring those ill feelings and that hate and that resentment within inside your spirit, inside your soul. So anyway, I'll leave the video there. It's just a short one for tonight, but I'll be back with another video soon. And if you could press the like, and please press the like and subscribe button. And if you want a one-to-one session, you can find the details in the description box. Anyway, catch you all again soon. Peace.